Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going we're gonna look over something that Crowder put out, I believe it was last week, and it's Alex Jones reacting to insane Dylan Mulvaney and some kind of TikTok nonsense that Mulvaney put. Jerry has never seen Dylan Mulvaney, so this should be a treat for everybody involved. All people should enjoy this. All right, here we go.
Dylan Mulvaney. Now, you know Dylan Mulvaney because you have to. But Dylan Mulvaney now, and this is where I think this is important because all of these things are acceptable. The left will say, well, that's probably a troll the Hitler thing. Well, I don't think it's any more absurd than Dylan Mulvaney now dressing up like a 6-year-old girl from a children's book. And I'll give you some historical context as to why this is disturbing.
I am Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live in the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time.
Casey got sick.
So now you can comment below, please do, and hit the like button. Again, it helps the algorithm on YouTube because people want to tell you that we're dead. If you think this is crossing a line. Now, this is not the first time that this has happened. And by the way, in the past that this has when it happened, it was treated as legitimate. You may not remember this, but the media roasted all the critics of this person, Stephanie, spelled Steph-on-knee. This person actually went after me a long time ago on social media as well. They identified as a 6-year-old girl. And then it turned out, by the way, that they were a sex slave with the adoptive parents. There were all types of sexual images, which we're not going to show to you. You can find on the internet, but said, I just identified as a 6-year-old girl. And everyone said, hey, hold on a second. This was a man who fathered children, left his family. You know, he can now identify however he wants, so long as she is happy. Turned out the adoptive parents were doing weird sex tricks with Steph on knee. So the writings, right. We can see the tea leaves here.
Yeah, exactly. In days past, this would have been cause for concern. Maybe do some investigation, check in on somebody, and see if they're okay mentally. Now it's like, well, yeah, I guess that's fine.
Sure.
Well, would you like to come to the White House?
Imagine being Dylan Mulvaney's doctor. What do you do?
Gynecologist.
It's like, well, your testosterone levels are a little bit off for a woman, and your BMI is a little under. Just you know what? Here's a prescription for whatever you want. Take my pad.
Well, you guys just said it. This is a mainlining of blurring the lines, and it's a whole leftist movement. Not just a few people that say they identify as children so they then get access to them. I see articles every day where, quote, transgender men get busted just a few days ago in Kentucky doing things with the babies. And, like, it's a dude that says they're a woman, and now it wants access to babies. I mean, and then you look at these people, forget whether they want to be a woman or not. Just if you were walking down the street at night and saw a person that looked like this, they look like the Joker. They don't look like women. They don't look like men. Right. And so it's basically like It the Clown's coming to take care of your children.
Sure. Yeah, I think we probably hit the YouTube up on a portion of that. But isn't it crazy? You can't say that on YouTube. Don't worry, we can say anything we want on Rumble. But no, absolutely. This is one of those things, right, where then this is why the suicide rate, the attempted suicide rate, doesn't improve statistically. You can check all the references. We've always provided these because they're not recognized really as men or as women. You cannot control society. You can't force them to say, oh, yeah, it's just like Kim. It's just like Riley. It's just like Andy. Any of the women who work here, you go, all right, I now have to walk on eggshells because I don't know what's going to happen next. And with
notice it's the new religion, though.
Yes. Yeah.
It's literally a religion that you can't criticize because it's so preposterous. And so even South Park would criticize it 5-10 years ago. Now they don't even do it. So again, if I wanted to identify as a dolphin, I don't hurt anybody, it's fine, but I'm not really a dolphin. I could go have an artificial fin put on my head, and I could sit there and say my name is Flipper and go,
You're too hairy for a dolphin. Which you used to swim in high school. How did you do? Did you have to go for like a full-on sugar wax? Because you got the Robin Williams furriness going on.
You know what's happened to me? As I got older, I just get hairier and hairier like a Turkish man.
Yes.
and
it's not a good trade-off. It's not a good trade-off. We start losing hair here and gaining it on our back.
Everywhere else.
I was about to say, it's the old joke, you lose it on the top of your head, and all of a sudden you go at your nose and your ears.
Yeah, I have nose hair.
Yeah,
that's why I'm grateful for Manscaped. So let's go through Dylan to attest to that point. Dylan Mulvaney, I would say, is not because this person is trans. Dylan Mulvaney, the individual, this should be acceptable. Clearly not mentally well
stable
right now. If this were anybody else, you would say, okay, hold on, maybe there might need to be some type of help, some type of assistance provided
or a
here.
fraud.
Let's look at the evidence of this as a person who clearly has been clamoring for attention. This is narcissism at its peak. That's still Mulvaney back in the day.
That was before he was
Totally
dressing
normal.
like a chick.
75 of being a girl, and I've been carrying around tampons and pads for the past 2 months, but I've actually never opened one up.
I wonder
so
why.
Let's do it. Woohoo! I thought the letters stood for small, medium, and large based on the size of your Barbie pouch, but after
That's not a
Google, I found
stereotype.
out it's actually the level of your flow. When I have extensions in, I don't know my name. I don't know where I live. I just know
That's a
that I
sign
love
that you
these.
have problems.
And I know that I look like I could steal a husband, but I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you. Okay, I am a
thanks.
girl's girl.
Hide your husbands, ladies.
Oh my gosh.
The girl with the
That's
penis
sanity.
is after him.
And when hold on a second, I don't know that that's a side effect of a typical side effect of putting in hair extensions.
I don't think so.
Forgetting your name or where you live. If someone turns on the microwave, you piss your pants, forget
God,
where
I
you are for a
didn't
second.
put it in.
I don't think that's
Thought
typical.
that
of
was
hair extensions. I
Alzheimer's.
think it usually just makes your hair longer.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've got.
So, anyways, that's Dylan
Wow.
Mulvaney.
Wow. What a freak.
Oh,
What a
and
freak.
Biden had a real heartwarming conversation with Mulvaney.
Did
at the White
Mulvaney
House.
sit on his knee in his lap while he had the conversation? It was so heartwarming.
Maybe afterwards.
Yeah.
I know the now that Mulvaney is identifying as a 6-year-old girl instead of just a woman.
Turned in their license.
Biden would probably sniff the hair.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering, so if you're a 6-year-old girl, that is acceptable now to our government, I suppose. I'm not quite sure where the line of acceptance begins and ends anymore, other than with the weirdo community. But so would that mean that at a 6-year-old that they've got to they can't work full time because they got to watch out like work permits for school. They've got to go back to grammar school and then also can't have a driver's license. And
Right.
I'm just wondering, can't sign a contract. So I'm just wondering where the 6-year-old girl begins and where it ends. I mean, legally it sounds like a bunch of BS, and socially it sounds like a bunch of BS. And you know what happens is when you let the nuts run the nut house, this is what you get. And there was a movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, years and years ago. It came out, and the freaking nuts took over the insane asylum.
And they were not even as crazy.
Oh no, no. Although, no, they weren't as crazy. And and there's got to be a line where you're just a step too far, and where everything loses perspective, everything falls away from the truth. And this is where they're trying to drag society, trying to push society, and force society to accept it. The government, the minute they get involved in this, that they're going to try to force you into accepting this, is where it's a real problem.
Right.
And I mean, it's a real problem with those people. But if they run around acting like a lunatic, people are just going to ignore them. But if you have to recognize, you're not going to tell me I have to recognize that weirdo as a non insane, probably pedophile. It's just, you're not going to do it. Well, so they can babysit my grandkids, right? I can't refuse them because there's some whacked out 30 or however year old man he is who thinks he's a woman, who now thinks he's a 6-year-old girl. God knows, you could leave him babysitting your kids and he could turn out and think that he's a frickin' great white shark and he could eat your kids. I mean, what's next? I mean, everything is possible, and in the mind of the insane. And that's really what's going on. This is just pure insanity, and we're seeing where the stepping away from foundational truths is getting us. And then these idiots who support it say, follow the science with COVID, right? Follow the science. Put a mask on. But a man, full-grown man, is now a 6-year-old girl, and that's acceptable. It just doesn't even make sense. And they lose all credibility.
Well, and the sad thing is that society at large is pretty much accepting it.
They're idiots. At large.
At large.
At large, they're idiots. The scripture says is the path of destruction is wide, and many shall go therein. The path to salvation is narrow, and few shall find it. Well, that's becoming a lot more obvious all the time. And now I'm really starting to understand how when God destroyed the world with the flood, how he only found 8 people to get on that ark. I'm thinking those numbers are getting pretty small right now, and it's I don't know if we're going to come up with 8. We might come up with 8. I mean, he might come up with 8, but it's if that guy's acceptable and God doesn't punish us for them, and I've heard it said Sodom and Gomorrah are owed an apology.
Yeah.
True. It's awful. It's just phenomenally awful in every aspect. You can't even, how do you even logically debate your position on their side? When the science, when the truth, when the reality, when history, when everything says you're wrong, and you go, well, that's insanity. That's what that is. It's just insanity. And the reality of this is the only reason they're doing this crap is for sex. It's all about sex.
Yeah.
Every bit of it's about sex.
For I think a lot of them it is. Mulvaney's an actor. He comes from like a long line of theater actors.
Oh, well, they're weird anyway.
They're weird, but 2, they're also quite skilled. And one of the things he only started this during the pandemic. So theater shut down. His income dried up, and he couldn't make it as make anything social media wise unless if he was going to stand out. And then all of a sudden he comes out as he is a woman, and because he goes way over the top. I mean, he's so far over the top of even.
Have you ever watched the gay parades in frickin' Frisco or Boston?
Right.
They're way over the top. They're way over the top. Look at the way they dress. They're way over the top.
I think he's doing it for money. I'll be honest.
Oh, maybe.
I think that his is more monetary because he's gotten sponsored now by like 5 corporations or big corporations.
What, Trojan? Him. Who's sponsoring him?
I think
frickin'
big ones, like we're talking like
Pampers.
No, Fortune 500s like Apple, Google, Honeywell. Like these are the companies that are throwing him money. Probably Pfizer.
They're probably giving him the shots. Yeah.
Right. Promote us because we definitely need more lifelong money from you people.
Yeah, well, I see the Pfizer commercials on TV anyways. They advertise for the new shots, the new pill, the new this, the new that.
I can't. And with them.
Our society is a bunch of pussies, to be honest with you. I mean, men aren't men, and I guess literally now, and women aren't women, and that men just have given up in many cases. And I'm not going to say all, because I know men, and you're one. But on the whole scope of that equation is a lot of the so-called men are they're metros or they're this and they're that, and they don't even identify as a man, and they're maybe a boy, and but not men, and they don't take the responsibility that a man should take for his family and for his life and for the upbringing of their children. And then you get this weird stuff, and it doesn't matter if this guy's an actor or not. What he's selling is poison.
Right, and that's actually poison. More concerning, right? Is that so he could be leading a whole new wave of people that are faking it to sell the poison to people then that get influenced by it, believe it, and then really subscribe to it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because one thing, Mulvaney's been doing it a couple years now. I haven't seen any augmentation. Notice it's all cosmetic. How committed is he to the cause if he isn't really doing it? And that just means he's a salesman.
Well, I just saw there was a girl who at 13 had their breast, I don't know, her breast removed and all, and then she came out and she was talking about what a wrong thing it was and what a scar on life it has been for her, because then she realized that she wasn't transgender, that God got it right.
I actually was going to do that video today. I was going to do that one today. And I figured I was just trying to look for, because I have to cut things down. But yeah. But anyways, guys, if you guys like this, comment down below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.